has the 45, breaks away from another tackle, pitches it backwards, and now Jacoby Myers spinning around. He throws it to Chandler Jones in midfield, and a stiff arm. Chandler Jones racing towards the end zone. He scores! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
I can't believe what I just saw.
Again!
I can't believe what I just saw. This is unbelievable. Wow.
Oh, man.
For context, y'all, the Raiders scored 2 touchdowns in 39 seconds to win that game. There was basically no probability they would win with a minute left, and somehow they did. Everybody trying to figure out, who do you blame? I blame Ramondre Stevenson. I blame the running back who first lateraled the ball. Here's why, Will. Will, if you and I were on the street, and if you and I were on the street walking to the mall about half a mile away, and all of a sudden we've seen a whole bunch of people running the opposite direction, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm running.
No question.
I'm not asking no questions. Mm-hmm. I'm turning around and I'm running. Because if you running, we running. So if Ramondre Stevenson is running this draw play and he pitches it to Jacoby Myers because it's time to make a play, Jacoby Myers, it's time to make a play. You making plays, we making plays. So I don't blame Jacoby Myers. Ramondre Stevenson is the one who was on the street who started running. If you see somebody running, everybody got to run because that's what time it is. As soon as I see get the ball pitched to me, oh, we play making? Oh, I'm making plays too then. So I blame Stevenson, Will Blackman, who you blame.
It's the way he pitched it, too. It's like, it reminds me of, I used to go to the market with my mom, and I asked my mother, can I have that cereal? She's like, no, you can't have it. And when she's walking by, I just grab it, I just drop it in the box anyway. Like, we're going to get this cereal. But the person I blame, initially, I was looking at the coaches, because I'm like, man, it's Bill Belichick. Like, he prepares these guys. He's a situational master. This is what he's supposed to do. And so I'm like, why did Jacoby pitch that football? And then now, after hearing that he said, I was trying to be the hero, well, I have no choice but to put it on Jacoby Myers for doing that. I mean, it's that simple. I know I can go for a whole 7 minutes, but I'm not, because that's my answer. It's that simple. Jacoby Myers for pitching that football.
I know y'all played defense, so it's not a one-to-one comparison, but, like, were you ever in a moment in football where, and, like, I feel like this is kind of where you're going, Acho, where, like, the juice of the competitive moment just takes over? Like, I kind of feel like Jacoby Myers just forgot the game was tied.
Yes.
You know, he's like,
he
lateraled to me. We got to do something.
That's my point.
But also, Jacoby Myers has been in the NFL for 4 years now. He's played for Bill Belichick that entire time. He's an undrafted free agent in 2019. I understand the juice of the moment, but he pitches you that ball. All you got to do is take one step to your right, and you're out of bounds, and this game is going to overtime. That's all I need you to do, Jacoby Myers. I get it to a degree, but you just got to take, like, half a beat and be like, wait, we still got OT. We're going to be okay.
Like, why did he pitch it to me? All right, I'm going to go out of bounds, because he should have gave me the football.
But I think in that moment, Joey, it was like, oh, he pitched it to me. Clearly, I'm mistaken. Like, clearly I'm tripping. Clearly the score is not tied because he wouldn't have pitched it to me otherwise. So I must be tripping. It's time to go make play.
This happened in my son's basketball game yesterday. It was down to the wire, and there was a play drawn up for another player. So he's supposed to pass it to this kid, and instead he passed it to somebody else, our point guard. So when the point guard got it, he was like, wait, what's going on? 3, 2, we lost.
And so did the Patriots. Joy, where do you stand? Who's to blame?
I got to agree with you. This is not time to ask questions. This is not the time for thinking. Like, the brain has been washed of thoughts, which is like, it's the moment. So I'm with you. It's not his fault. I probably would have done the same thing. But that's what I'm saying. I gotta blame the players. I'm hanging on to my one last shred. I'm at the bottom of the rope, hanging on to the Bill Belichick belief system because of, the 20 years of trauma which the Patriots have, forced upon me as a Dolphins fan. So I'm just holding on to it because I can't imagine, of all the teams, particularly a Belichick team, to not be prepared for this moment and not even, it doesn't even have to be a Belichick team to know. Everyone knows what you need to do. There's no mystery. There's nothing to do. Just sit down. Just sit on the ground. Just sit on the ground. That's all you have to do. You have to make no play. Just sit down, and it's over. I mean, obviously, this is bringing a great deal of joy to a lot of people in the NFL world because watching the Patriots not only collapse, but also collapse in an incredibly embarrassing way. And obviously, we have Mac Jones' head being palmed by Chandler Jones right behind us. which will live in infamy, unfortunately, for the rest of his career, and I'm sure will be a part of many memes to come.
I mean, that is a mush.
It's an absolute mush, which is one of the. It's more disrespectful to me than getting slapped is getting mushed.
I don't know.
That's another conversation.
Either way, it's bad, and I get why people are celebrating it. And the worst part is really, it looked like it was another complete collapse by the Raiders.
Yeah.
And then here you are doing like the literal one thing you can't do, and they win. So I'm actually really happy for Chandler Jones.
Very happy for Chandler Jones. If you do not know, Chandler Jones, I believe, is the all-time sack leader for the Patriots and also one of the all-time sack leaders for the Cardinals. Going back to the game, outside of Stevenson, now's where I blame Patricia. Matt Patricia, he is the one who communicates with Mac Jones before the play. Why? If you're a supervisor, I think it is your job to make things foolproof. You can say idiot-proof. You can say stupid-proof. I think foolproof. Will, I used to have to wear the mic, the green dot, calling the plays. Even if I know the defensive lineman is supposed to know the stunt based on the call, you know what I'm going to say before the play, Dave? Hey, big dog, remember, you got A-gap. Even if I know the nickel back, Will Blackman, is supposed to blitz on this play based on the call, and Will knows it, you know what I'm going to say before the play? Hey, Will, remember, it's shoe. In that instance, I believe Matt Patricia should remind Stevenson, Joy Taylor, hey, get down. Remind Mac Jones, hey, as soon as you hand it off, if nothing's there, just get down. It is your job as a supervisor to make sure everything is foolproof. That is why I still put some of it, Will, on Patricia, but are you completely out on blaming the coaches?
Yeah, I mean, my initial thought was the coach, and they probably did. They probably said those things, but like Dave mentioned, in the spur of the moment, they probably forgot and lost that. And that is the case. Sometimes.
How likely is that to happen for an athlete in the height of the moment?
No, it's very likely because you made a good point in terms of you were in the green dot, always reminding guys what to do. I was in a situation in Jacksonville, I was the cerebral guy. I was the one that studied above and beyond. I studied for both corners, the backups, whoever. So there were situations that I knew, but I remember we played the Chargers, and there was one particular situation where the Chargers ran a screenplay. If Eddie Royal was 2 yards off the line of scrimmage, I'm like, it's a bubble screen, no question. So I told the whole team that. We line up. I'm in my position. I hear Jonathan Cyprian. He's like, Will. He said, it's 3rd and 14. I was like, oh, okay. So I told Chris Clemens, I told everybody, and boom, we knocked it out. But for that moment, I totally forgot about the situation I prepared for all week. So to your point, right, yeah, there's a lot of validity to that in terms of hey, there's a lot of reminders, and Patricia probably should have, but he probably did. That's why I was not sure when it happened, so that at the end of the game, when I saw the interview and Jacoby said, I was trying to be the hero, that means he went above and beyond what was asked of him. When coaches say, don't be a hero, it's when players try to do too much.
Joy, you put any of this at all on Mac Jones? Watching the chaos ensue.
Come on.
Do you put any of this at all on Mac?
He got to make that tackle, Joy.
Hold on a second, all right? No disrespect to Mac Jones, but there was 99 out of 100 times this happens. That's the result right there, is that entire scenario. And the one time it doesn't happen is because Chandler happens to trip over his own feet, and it has nothing to do with Mac Jones. Nothing was stopping that man from getting to the end zone, including Mac Jones. He just was in the way.
Did he trip somebody last year? Who did he trip last year?
Oh, he did trip a Panthers player, I believe.
Yeah. Brian Burns, I think it was. Yeah.
Brian's pretty good. I don't know.
I don't like it.
I know he might know jiu-jitsu from his brother.
Yeah.
Mac Jones is that's the funny, Mac Jones, compared to the rest of the population, is an incredible athlete.
Of course.
It's easy to forget that stuff. But in this situation, I mean, and this is going to sound like a slight to Mac Jones. I don't mean it that way, but it's like asking me to tackle you. I mean, come on, man.
The only thing, when Jacoby starts to throw this ball, I believe Mac Jones should have tried to run up and bat it down. You see, he was waiting there stationary.
No,
Come on. He's sitting there waiting.
He wasn't expecting the ball.
Yeah,
that was probably
processing time going on here.
It's the last thing on his mind was that ball's coming back to him.
He saw a big shadow of Chandler Jones. I can't.
Can we talk about?
Give this the credit it deserves for being one of the biggest blunders we've ever seen, and that's not hyperbole.
What did Jacoby expect Mac to do with it if he had caught it?
That is the question nobody's answering.
Oh, man.
Even if Mac Jones does get this
Right,
ball,
he can't throw it forward.
he got nobody else to throw it to. Anyway, we got to throw it to the next segment because this was hilarious. Coming up, Jalen Hurts. He had another dominant performance, 3 touchdowns, but it was scary early on in the season. A little bit of breaking news. Jalen Hurts questionable for Sunday's game, by the way. We'll tell you exactly why and what happened with his performance yesterday. Next on Speed.
I gotta stop saying validity. I can't even say that word.
If you thought